Today is 19th of January, market trade a narrow range bar, down 13 point at 3276 with below average volume. By and large, market is actually stuck in the trailing range. This is quite evident from the 1326 SMA, which is actually flat. Last three by itself clustered together with small body. January market is listless. There was a time of breakout, but it kind of failed. And right now, this couple of bar are actually hovering just below this level. January positive, we continue to do so. Compared to the past where there are bigger swing. So this may well form a base for upside breakout. We are looking for a catalyst. Immediate resistance is at 3,300 and immediate support is actually at this pivot low, which coincides with this gap. That is about 3250. The more significant support is actually at this level here, which is at 3211. Now let's take a look at the US markets. This is S&P 500. Mentioned previously that this downward trend lines has been tested and respected on several occasions, so this is a very important level to watch. Currently, actually, we see a reversal bar on the daily charts. You can see it's actually quite a threatening bar, so further downward move is actually quite likely. So on the short-term basis, we are likely to see further downward move. Likewise for Nasdaq, which is of course much weaker. Again, if you notice, actually this is a level that was actually tested and turned away on several occasions. This is the 40 weeks. Similarly, this actually offer a very important resistance and is still downward pointing. Now, what we are concerned is actually it may well actually eventually consolidate sideways and break on the downside because actually the long-term downtrend is still in force. Though we have conflicting features from NYSE, which represent the 2,000 big cap stocks. If you are to actually plot the 40 weeks, you notice it has actually broken on upside, followed by a test, and they actually move up. So again, by and large, it does indicate that actually there was some strength in US markets. It's just that the tech stocks, tech sectors is extremely weak. This is Hang Seng, very strong upward move. This is an important level to watch. This here is at about 22,449, an important resistance level that was tested on several occasions. So it may actually be pulled back from here. At this point in time, we do see small bar. So this indications of losing momentums. And if you continue to actually hover just below there, eventually you'll like to see a break on the upside. So generally, we see strong move in the Hong Kong market, particularly the blue chips. This is the 10-year Treasury yield with the 40 weeks. Again, after this sharp drops, are more likely to actually trade sideways with a couple of swing. So it's actually consolidating. We do not anticipate a move like this because by and large, most of the thing has been discounted. This is the Brent crude approaching resistance, which is at about $87. This resistance again quite persistent, so it's important to actually watch. But by and large, on the longer terms, it's actually negative. This is the weekly charts with the 1326 week SMA plotted. So generally biased towards the downside. And on high side, you can see that this is actually a distribution patterns, and this is a pretty obvious resistance, which is slightly above $95. So this is something which, again, unless it's actually broken, it's very difficult to actually stage any further upward move. And that's at about $98, just below 100. Now let's go back to our local markets. This is China Aviation Oil. Very nice gap here. In fact, two in a row, followed by pullback on low volume. Pretty obvious. nice break, and followed by a low volume pullback. So after this run-ups, actually this is the third pullback, and at this point in time we do have a small depot setup. Bar high here is at 105. So remember, the run-up had started much earlier. It's just that this is a different phase. This breakout here obviously carry more risk than the initial breakout. So if you take this trade, you just have to be more mindful and be more guarded. This is a dairy farm. More volatile swing. At this point in time, we had a big dipper setup. 2-bar high is over here at about 320. Today we did see strong upward move on increased volume, so we'd like to actually look for a break on the upside. Best World managed to actually break out today but didn't close well. Look for a pullback and look for a setup. Eventually look for a break above the high of 215. This is Olam approaching the resistance, and there's a pullback. We'd like to see what happen over the next few sections. If we can just hover around this level here, low volume, that is generally positive, and eventually look for a break above here of 163. Obviously this is an important resistance to watch. ISDN, we have a small deeper breakout yesterday. Today trade a small bar, more likely to pull back. During a pullback, look for setup. Food Empire. Now this stocks at times have low liquidity, so we just have to be very careful. At this point in time, it's a big dipper. Bar high here, 2-bar high is at 70 cents. Semco industry we have discussed for quite some time. It's actually experiencing fatigue, a pretty obvious series of overlapping bars, and there were 2 attempts at breakout, and on both occasions there was some rejection. It does indicate there is some selling here, alright, some resistance. And at this point in time, it is actually closed below the 26, and notice the conversion. So it may well roll over. We just have to be careful. Anyway, there isn't any setup here. It's just a consolidations. If you take a look at the weekly charts, you can see the FT marking a high. This way itself is an inside bar. So you need some patience. If you can continue hover sideways at about this region, that will be generally positive. Otherwise, it may actually roll down.